This video is sponsored by Sakuraco. Shalom, my dudes. I'm sorry I haven't been posting. I would definitely post more if I was in Japan doing fun things, and I know it might be really boring just to watch me talk about Japan. I'm really trying to bring Japan to you since we're not in Japan right now. I swear we're almost there, and I will have more information in March, but for now I just have to be ready with my visa application. I have my COE, okay, blah. Just please be patient with me and we'll get there together. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. For those of you who are new, I studied abroad in Japan once in high school for a year, and then once in college for a semester, and then a time in between then just for vacation. And it's a fun time. It's everything you think it is and more, and don't let the haters tell you otherwise. And along with the haters, there's also people who think they know things about Japan when they don't, and then they write articles about them. Because I did a lot of research before I even went to Japan, and I read some things and I thought they were true, and then I go there and they turn out to not be true, and I'm like, so I'm gonna share some of those things with you. These are my top 5 myths about Japan that people think are true, and they're not. First thing I heard, this was told to me by an actual Japanese person, who I barely met. I was at a Japanese culture festival in Houston, and this lady, she was supposed to be a Christian like myself, that's what she claimed to be, but she was kind of mean. That's like a whole nother story, but basically I told her how I was interested in Japan, and she told me that the Japanese people wouldn't accept me if I couldn't speak all of the different levels of politeness and use them correctly with the correct people. She's like, don't ever make connections with people if you don't know the language perfectly. And I was like, oh geez, she made me cry. And I'm just like dressed up as Inuyasha, like trying to hold back the tears, but I couldn't hold back the tears. I just like wept in front of this lady who was harassing me. And yeah. But look at us, we proved her wrong. I made so many friends even though my Japanese wasn't perfect. And like, of course there's gonna be people everywhere who don't accept you for dumb reasons, but you know, focus on the people who do like you. But yeah, don't worry about people not liking you. What was that? I'm going country. So I know some of you have been in contact with me saying that you're going abroad to Japan. If you know they ever open up, they better giddy up with that. Yeehaw. Yeah, just be friendly and smile and be open. Like, it's definitely different than making friends in the US. I tried the, hi, I'm Sonia, would you like to be friends? And they were kind of like, but no, you kind of just have to be like passive, just be cute, look cute, or if you're a boy, be cool and show them your coolness, and then they'll be like, whoa, kawaii, or kawaii, yeah, myth. You don't have to speak the language perfectly to make friends, okay? Just make an effort. Myth number 2, I read this somewhere on the internet, that Japanese people must have pure bath water, and that they don't use bath bombs. Ow! That is incorrect, because story time. I have 2 stories that disprove that. My first Japanese host mom, I have 4. Before I took my bath, she came to me with a bath bomb and was like, Sonia, you should use this before you take a bath. It turns the water pink. There's even a toy inside. And I was like, dude, no way. I read that Japanese people didn't use bath bombs ever. And I didn't say that because my Japanese wasn't great at that time. But I was just like, okay, if you say so, you're Japanese. You can, yeah. And the thing is, I went first. So everyone else went after me and used my pink bathwater. It's a Japanese cultural thing. You're clean, you shower before, most of you probably know this, but you rinse yourself and scrub and clean yourself before getting into the bathtub. That's just like an after soak. So everyone's clean. You know what I mean? But they were fine with the pink bath water, okay? And second example is at Japanese onsens, they have literal tea baths. There's like giant tea bags sitting in the onsen water, in the hot spring water. So, yeah, whoever wrote that article that I read like 5 years ago, delete it. Before we continue the video, let's hear from our sponsor, Sakuraco. Sakuraco is a Japanese subscription box that offers wholesome Japanese traditional, artisan, and authentic snacks. Each month you will get a box full of Japanese teas, traditional snacks, and kitchenware, rich in Japanese culture. Here I am displaying the March box, whose theme is Sakura Afternoon Tea. March is the prime time for sakura or cherry blossom viewing in Japan, so those of us who sadly cannot be in Japan for that, you can order this box, sit under a tree, and have a fun hanami picnic with your friends and family. And if you use my affiliate coupon code HEISEI, you can get $5 off your first Sakuraco order. One of my favorite parts is the special guidebook that comes along with each box that tells you everything you need to know about what's inside. I've lived in Japan before for long periods of time, and I can honestly say that Sakuraco delivers the best of the best. If you look closely inside of this sakura jelly, there are actual sakura blossoms inside. Actual cherry blossoms, you guys. Like, that's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I am so blessed that Sakuraco decided to sponsor me again. Thank you so much, Sakuraco, for sponsoring my video. The third myth is that it is rude to blow your nose in public in Japan. I really tried, like, my first couple, like, weeks there to, like, not blow your nose in public. I always did it in private. And then at school, at the train station, on the train, at my school, I already said that, in my host families, they're all just, you know, and I was like, I asked, I forgot who I asked, but I was like, I read, like, is it okay if I, like, to blow your nose in public? I read somewhere that it's rude in Japanese culture, and they were like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And, yeah, so get them boogies out whenever you want, wherever you want. I mean, obviously don't be gross about it, like, but, like, the physical act of, like, blowing your nose is fine in Japanese society. It's okay, alright? Also, like, sneezing kind of goes along with tissues and blowing your nose, but man, they sneeze whenever they want. You know, they don't hide it. And man, the Japanese people's sneezes are like the loudest, most inhuman sneezes or sounds I've ever heard. Ever. It sounds like they're like dying or something. I sneeze kind of like I'm not trying to be cute or kawaii, you guys, I swear. But Japanese people, they're more like like I'm not joking. It sounds like that. Especially men. Yeah. Number 4. Wait. Visual aid. You might have heard or read somewhere that in Japanese society it is a big, rude, no-no taboo to cut your food with chopsticks, people did it all the time, everywhere. Like, you were weird if you didn't do it. Because, like, if something's soft, like tofu, my shirt says tofu. He's holding tofu. If you're cutting tofu, you could probably get away with holding it with one hand and, like, trying to split it apart like this, or, like, you know, like that. With some foods, you just can't. They're too tough, so you just separate it like this, you know, if you don't have a fork and a knife. Like, they usually don't use forks and knives, so, like, for tempura or whatever. And they even said, like, why don't you just do this? And I was like, but I read that was rude in Japanese culture, and they were like, what are you talking about, you idiot? My fifth and final myth is that all Japanese people love sushi and they eat it every day. That is a big fat lie, okay? Because some Japanese people don't like raw fish or seafood in general. And I'm so sick and tired of people thinking all Japanese food is rice and sushi. Wrong. That's like people thinking all we eat is hamburgers and pizza. Maybe that's all I eat. But sushi is eaten on special occasions. Alright? Like, it's a special occasion food. Like going out to Perry's Steakhouse for a steak. You don't eat steak every day unless you're bougie, unless you're rich. Like kaiten sushi or conveyor belt sushi. Or like getting a giant tray of sushi at the grocery store. It's like for parties, celebration, like when I think we went out for sushi when I won the Kyugi Taikai, the ball game tournament. They're like, oh, wow, Sonya, you won. You're so cool. Let's go out for sushi to celebrate. It's like that. Yeah. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. Because I bet my whole life savings that these people who are writing articles have never been to Japan. And they're like, Japanese people definitely do this for sure, 100%. No. Some things I read that were, like, totally true. I mean, anime, you can't go wrong. Because, like, Japanese people make anime and do things. There are certain things in anime that would never, ever happen, obviously. But, yeah, I'll make a video about that later. But let me know if you've ever heard these myths before, the things I've talked about and thought were true. Let me know in the comments. Please comment on my videos. I'm lonely and I need friends and people. I want to talk to the people in the comments. And sorry if I don't answer you on Instagram if you message me, because I deleted the app off my phone and I only check it like once a month on my laptop. But we're gonna get to Japan. We're gonna use bath bombs in our bath water. Blow our noses. That's one. Alright. I'll try and post more. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.